this ex-official has admitted to cheating for Manny Pacquiao for a fight back in the year 2000. And I know you're saying it's 20 years ago. Why is it a big deal? Well, first of all, I don't know why this dude even came forward with this information, because we all know boxing is corrupt. But the last thing we need is referees popping out talking about they help people win back in the day. But this guy named Carlos Padilla admitted to helping Manny Pacquiao beat someone named this Australian named Nadal Hussein in a fight more than 2 decades ago. Pacquiao was 21 years old. He was a rising star. It was a 10-round fight for the WBC International Super Bantamweight title, and it was in Manila, near Manila, which is capital of Philippines. And the guy said that this is the same guy that refereed the Thriller in Manila with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. He said that he helped Pacquiao secure the big victory by prolonging a 10 count when he got knocked down and he was dazed in the 4th round. He said, quote, "I am Filipino and everybody is Filipino watching the fight, so I prolonged the count. I know how to do it," end quote. And so he said that when he first went down, when he first got dazed, he said, "Are you okay? Get up." And that gave him an extra couple of seconds. He also said that Pacquiao headbutted Hussein accidentally later in the fight, but he didn't call it a headbutt. He called it a punch. And when the fight got stopped because of the cut of the man's eye, Pacquiao won by TKO. So, first of all, I guess my first question is, this guy's in the Hall of Fame, all right? Why would you come out and say this now 20 years later? What do you think his motivation is? I don't know if he's writing a book or what.
Who knows? I mean, this is really, first of all, if you got some secret like that, you know, you coming out 20 years later, my thing is this. What if you were doing any more fights? I know he's in the Hall of Fame and probably unlikely to re-referee, but what if he wanted to re-referee? Now you're putting a cloud over your head, and, people are not going to take you seriously. And, when you're refereeing, that's one thing. 2, who gives a damn? It was 20 years ago. I would have never said anything about it in the first place. It's 20 years ago. But we're starting to see a trend with this, just like, they were coming out last week when we talked about Jerry Jones, at the school or whatever, trying to keep the, Afro-Americans from coming into school, segregation and all that kind of stuff. That happened way back in the 50s. Who cares? It's over with. Sometimes we got to just let stuff go and go on about your business, because it does not matter. He's not doing it now. Now, if he was doing that now, okay, I can see something. But this happened 20 years ago. Don't give a damn.
And let me clarify. He's in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. But Ray, Eminem, what y'all think, man?
Well, I think real quick that you can't believe what some of these guys say. They always saying that, oh, they did this or they did that, and now they got everybody talking. Okay, well, do you believe that the man would have been counted out if he had not done that? Do you believe the man would have not been a great champion if you had not done that? So I don't see, what is he talking about, and I wouldn't pay it no attention. I know they say something about Deontay Wilder or somebody else too, but I don't pay no attention to that unless I thought that he cheated all these years. It's just like I think they screwed Mike Tyson on the Buster Douglas punch. But the thing is history is what it is. He lost the fight. But, do I think they did a fair count and all that? No, I don't think they did so. But what can you do? So you get people on TV now or radio or whatever, they'll say something and then everybody take it and run with it. But who's to say this guy is telling the truth unless you actually go back to the film and show what he did?
I don't know. I mean, he was very specific, and that's probably that may have been the only Pacquiao fight he ever refereed. So,
go
ahead.
Yeah. I think it now, as far as Pacquiao, I think it has no impact as far as Pacquiao the fighter, but as far as the corruption that's in pro sports in general, I think for all the people that get looked at like they aliens when they talk about hell nah, man, I think that dude was paid off. You see it a lot in the amateurs. You know, nobody to talk about it because it ain't no cameras around all the time. But I mean, you see this kind of corruption on all kind of stuff in especially in amateur sports. And most notable, of course, it was the Olympics, the way Roy Jones got cheated in the '88 Olympics and stuff. I mean, but when you hear that stuff, it's just like everybody think it, but when you hear somebody admit it, like I say, it has no discredit to Pacquiao as far as him being a fighter, but as far as like corruption in with some referees, he just he didn't open a can of worms. He just validated some fighters that didn't go on to be prominent, that probably was cheated not by him but maybe by somebody else, or they was on the take from the mob or something like that. You got all these black fighters that don't have a voice. There's most of them dead. They like, man, I beat the shit out of that white boy. They still didn't give me the fight. I mean, and they know they telling the truth, but it's nice to have somebody to validate. At least that somebody has the conscience to say like, hey, you know what? It's neither here nor there. It don't change the course of history for this particular fighter, but for somebody else who wasn't as great, that could have been the difference between you going back to UPS and keeping boxing. I'm just saying, so I mean, to me, it ain't no timetable on stuff like that. I mean, it's like, it's good when you have the truth. Can something be done about it? Nah, but it's good to, it's good when somebody at least admit for the crowd, you know what I'm saying, that
wait a minute, Evelyn. You ain't robbing no car while you're on the show, are you?
Damn, man, let me get the screwdriver out of here. But yeah, man, so it exposes some stuff, just like in basketball. Some of the referees got busted and later admitted that it was some corruption in some of the smaller college basketball games. I'm saying, like, people say this stuff all the time, and people look at them like they talking about they seen a green alien standing on something, or they saw Bigfoot. For the managers and all these people who say, man, that's bullshit, we know this, that helps ease that.
But
you ain't just saying this stuff.
But with boxing, it's more so with the eye anyway. Everybody can look at a fight and see who actually won the fight. Like Castillo's, I believe he beat Mayweather in that fight. And if you look at the punch stats, he did beat him. But the thing is hey, he didn't get the victory.
Yeah, but if a referee come out in any sport and say, admittedly,
if you saw it, bro, you know what it is.
Yeah, everybody didn't see it though.
Like to this day, I believe Triple G won both of them fights against Canelo. He was too old in his third one. With the first two fights, he won both of them. Watch them over again. Now that's with our eye. They can say anything else they want. Well,
but if a referee came out and admitted that
I was the reason Canelo won.
Exactly. I'm just saying that's messed up. But it validates people saying they got an unfair shake.
Because even though we may know in our eyes who we think won, it affects the boxers' pockets and opportunities to get screwed out of a victory.
It depends on who it is.
I mean, I don't know who this guy.
Boxing has never been more corrupt than it is right now.
I don't know.
And you know who's corrupting it?
Bob Arum.
You thought Don King was crooked too. You deal with Al Heyman and all.
Yeah,
that.
man, Don King was. It's always been corrupt.
I think he was just robbing his own fighters. I think these guys are just these guys on another level.
Right now, you look at every weight class. These guys are not fighting each other because you got certain Negroes out here trying to run the fight game. Tell me I'm lying. Name a weight class.
That's the truth.
Name a weight class.
Everybody's
a champ, but nobody's fighting each other.
Nope.
Every one of them.
But how do we go from that to a referee admitting that he's cheating on purpose. That's what I'm talking about.
But we talking about a
Well,
referee. Why does that matter what a guy got to say when we see the film?
Because
no,
I mean,
you're talking about that one particular fight. But I'm saying, yeah, everybody see the film.
Any
Like
fight,
it don't even have to be
any
boxing.
fight.
Anything. A referee supposed to be. It's just like a judge. You go into the judge and you like, man, this is the verdict. But if somebody come out and say, well, nah, man, I don't like nobody that look like this or that, or went to this school or this color or this height. I'm just saying if they admit it,
yeah.
then it's
Because
like
the difference between the promoters and the referees is that the promoters may prevent people from fighting, but the referees impact the people who are fighting.
And
That's a
these guys
direct
get
impact.
less than $25,000 for the fight, and they got all that impact.
They
But
sure
this is
do.
what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If a controversial play happens in Super Bowl playoffs or whatever, or like the Dez catch or whatever, if the man come out later and say, "Oh, he felt like this or that," does that change your mind how you felt about that catch? Either way you feel, you gonna be the same feeling that you had regardless. He
I mean,
got to come out and say, "Hey, I knew it was a catch, but I ruled that it wasn't."
as a
And everybody say,
fan,
"Oh, I knew it all the time." No,
as a
but
fan, it
no,
doesn't change anything,
an
and it doesn't.
opinionated judgment on the ref is nothing like a ref saying before this game start, I'm already telling you, I'm gonna make sure my boy win or my team win. That's different than a highly
Something subjective.
yeah, exactly. But if
I
Yeah, that's a good
disagree.
point.
I
you
mean,
That's a good
disagree with
point.
that,
because
okay. But I mean
if it's
that's
something
just
that you
like
see,
it don't matter about saying that the referee's supposed to make the call based on a rule. Now, it don't mean they're gonna get all the calls right, and we all know that. But for a referee to say on any sport, on anything, that before this damn thing start, I'm gonna make sure that this person win or that person win, regardless of who it is.
I mean,
I'm
because
saying
what it
that's messed up.
does, this is a championship fight. So what it does, the Hussein guy doesn't want a belt. So I don't know what happened to him. That could have been his last opportunity. People that were gambling didn't get their money. I mean, it impacts a lot of people. So
yeah, it
I
does.
mean, if I found
It
out I
does.
lost $500 back in 2000, yeah, it's been 20 years, but I'm still gonna be like, golly, I lost $500 on that fight.
And for that referee,
yeah,
it's just like it make every fight he have now. Anybody that thought something was questionable,
Especially if they're
dude,
from the Philippines.
right? Dude
Exactly.
might have only did that one time in his career, but he done planted that seed. That's all I'm saying. Like you heard the
Which is
integrity
not,
of the
and
judgment.
and boxing does not need another black eye at all.
Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Roughing the passer, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.